Hi there! I'm Sprinkles, Santa Claus's special elf, because everything is special with sprinkles. Santa Claus knows you're special too, and he has something to say to you. So listen close as Santa Claus shares holiday cheer with you. You can leave a special message for Santa Claus and get on the nice list at www.SantaClausSays.net. Now here is the big man himself, Santa Claus!
Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas to all the boys and girls of all ages all around the world. This is Santa Claus coming to you from Santa Claus's workshop here at the North Pole with SantaClausSays.net. This is your daily reminder during the Christmas season of 2023 about three things. One is to have wonderful Christmas cheer, and our wonderful elf Sprinkles helps us with our Christmas cheer. The second thing we do is we tell a Christmas story of adventure, and we are telling the story about the life and the adventures of Santa Claus. We're reading that book by L. Frank Baum, and then also we are reading a letter to Santa. Those are the three things we do here at SantaClausSays.net. And we want to remind you that Santa Claus listens to you, and I love you, and I want to hear from you. You can go to SantaClausSays.net, and on the website, you can communicate with me in three different ways. You can leave me a voice message, an actual voice message, and I will hear your message, and I will respond to you with a return voice message. You can also leave me a text. I get my text messages through my website, SantaClausSays.net, and they come on my purple cell phone, right? Some of you can see that right here on the YouTube channel, and it has a picture of me on there on my purple cell phone. And then you can also leave me a voicemail, and you can do that at SantaClausSays.net/present, and I will send you a present at that time, and that will be helpful to you. And I just want you to be able to do that and communicate with me, and I will communicate with you. And we're together every day now through Christmas. Now, a reminder that this Saturday and every Saturday in the month of December, the remaining Saturdays of the month of December, that's December 9th and December 16th and December 23rd, the day before Christmas Eve, we have a special YouTube Live Breakfast with Santa. And that's at 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, and you can adjust your time zone compared to where you are living. Maybe you can get your parents or somebody to help you with that. That's Breakfast with Santa at 9 o'clock a.m. live, and we'll have my hot cocoa and my cookies, and we're going to share more Christmas stories and more good surprises for you. And some of you may want to go a little further with a message from Santa. Some of you may want to get a special personalized video from Santa, or maybe a special personalized video chat with Santa, a Zoom call with Santa. You can find out more about all of that at SantaClausSays.net. That's why we're here, to have Christmas cheer and tell a good story. And that's what that Glockenspiel is all about. That's the chimes that Sprinkles gives to us to remind us that it is now story time. The story we've been reading all this Christmas season is a wonderful story called The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus by L. Frank Baum is the author. And it is brought to us by the good people at the Gutenberg Project, which makes this book available to us to read to you. And we read it every day during Christmas time. So if you missed any of our previous episodes, please go back either at SantaClausSays.net or on the YouTube channel or on Facebook, where it's the Santa Claus Says at YouTube or at Facebook, and you can find us there. And you can go back and listen to our previous episodes, which we read the first part of the book, and don't miss any future episodes. All the way through Christmas, we're reading this book the life and the adventures of Santa Claus. And we're in the part of the book which is called the manhood of Santa Claus. And we're concluding a reading that we've did, which is called how the Ryls colored the toys. How the Ryls colored the toys. And the Ryls, R-Y-L-S, are what many of us now know as elves. And so let's begin the story as we have this story here. Let's begin. I will bring you, the red Ryl is speaking here, the red Ryl. They were different colors, the Ryls were. The red Ryl says, I will bring you some of the red that I color my roses and tulips with. They're talking about the colors they're going to paint the toys. The red Ryl. And then you can make the cat's lips and tongue red. I'll bring you some of the green that I color my grasses and leaves with, said the green Ryl. And then you could color the cat's eyes green. They will need a bit of yellow also, remarked the yellow Ryl. I must fetch some of the yellow that I use to color my buttercups and goldenrods with. The real cat is black, said the black Ryl. I will bring some of the black that I use to color the eyes of my pansies with. Then you can paint your wooden cat black. I see you have a blue ribbon around Blinky's neck, added the blue Ryl. I will get some of that color that I use to paint the bluebells and the forget-me-nots with. And then you can carve a wooden ribbon on the toy cat's neck and paint it blue. So the Ryls disappeared. And by the time Claus had finished carving out the form of the cat, they were all black with paints and brushes. They made Blinky set up upon the table that Claus might paint the toy cat just the right color. And when the work was done, the Ryls declared it was exactly as a live cat. That is, to all appearances, added the red Ryl. Blinky seemed a little offended by the attention bestowed upon the toy, and that she might not seem to approve of the imitation cat. She walked to the corner of the hearth and sat down with a dignified air. But Claus was delighted. And as soon as morning came, he started out and tramped through the snow across the valley and the plain, and he came to a village. And there a poor hut near the walls of the beautiful palace of the Lord of Lurd, a little girl lay upon a wretched cot, moaning with pain. Claus approached the child and kissed her and comforted her. Then he drew the toy cat from beneath his coat, where he had hidden it, and placed it in her arms. And how he felt himself he repaid for his labor and his long walk when he saw the little one's eyes grow bright with pleasure. She hugged the kitty tight to her breast, and it had been a precious gem, and would not let it go for a single moment. The fever was quieted and the pain grew less, and she fell into a sweet and refreshing sleep. Claus laughed, ho, 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 and whistled and sang all the way home. Never had he been so happy as on that day. When he entered the house, he found Shigra, the lioness, awaiting him. Since his babyhood, Shigra had loved Claus, and while he dwelt in the forest, she had often come to visit him at Niseel's bower, after Claus had gone to live in Laughing Valley. Shigra became lonely and ill at ease, and now had braved the snowdrifts which the lions abhor to see him once more. Shigra was getting old, and her teeth were beginning to fall out, while the hairs that tipped her ears and tail had changed from tawny yellow to white. Claus found her lying on his hearth, and he put his arms around the neck of the lioness and hugged her lovingly. The cat had retired into a far corner. She did not care to associate with Shigra. Claus told his old friend about the cats he had made and how much pleasure they had given Weekum and the sick girl. Shigra did not know much about children, Indeed, if she met a child, she could scarcely be trusted not to devour it. But she was interested in Claus's new labors and said, "These images seem to be very attractive, yet I cannot see why you should make cats, which are very unimportant animals. Suppose now that I am here, you make the image of a lioness, the queen of all beasts. Then indeed your children will be happy and safe at the same time." Claus thought that this was a good suggestion, so he got a piece of wood and sharpened his knife, while Shigra crouched upon the hearth at his feet. With much care he carved the head in the likeness of the lioness, even the two fierce teeth that curved over her lower lip, and the deep frowning lines above her wide eyes. When it was finished, he said, "You have a terrible look, Shigra." "Then the image is like me," she answered, "for I am indeed terrible to all who are not my friends." Claus now carved out the body, with Shigra's long tail trailing behind it. The image of the crouching lioness was very lifelike. "It pleases me," said Shigra, yawning and stretching her body gracefully. "Now I will watch while you paint." He brought the paints the Ryls had given him from the cupboard and colored the image to resemble the real Shigra. The lioness placed her big padded paws upon the edge of the table and raised herself while she carefully examined the toy that was her likeness. "You are indeed skillful," she said proudly. "The children will like that better than cats, I'm sure." Then, snarling at Blinky, who arched her back in terror and whined fearfully, she walked away toward her forest home with stately strides. That ends that chapter about how the Ryls helped to paint the toys. It's a wonderful chapter, isn't it? It gives us some great insight about how things worked here at the North Pole with Santa and the elves, and how that all began about the painting of the toys. I hope that you'll join me in our next chapter when we're going to be talking about the chapter is titled, "How Little Mary Became Frightened." I hope that you'll join me next time here as we read the life and the adventures of Santa Claus. There is the Glockenspiel, boys and girls. Sprinkles is reminding us that now it is story time. That now it is time for our letter to Santa. We're about ready to read our letter to Santa. And a reminder that you can send me a letter or a voicemail or an email at SantaClausSays.net. You can leave me a voicemail there. You can leave me a text message on my purple cell phone. And if you leave me an email at SantaClausSays.net/present, I will send you a present in your email. And I hope that you'll do that. And remember, we've got Breakfast with Santa coming up this Saturday at 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time on our YouTube channel, Santa Claus Says at YouTube. Let's have our letter to today. This is a letter that came through our text. It came through my purple cell phone. I want you to know that. And it goes like this. "Hi, Santa. My name is Alexis. I am 14 years old. I help my mom clean around the house all the time. I also help her cook. I help her watch my little cousins." That is wonderful, Alexis. Now, Alexis has her wishes as well, as I'm sure that she does. But the most important thing that she is doing is she is being helpful with her mom and with her cousins. And I hope that you boys and girls around the world are being helpful this Christmas time. Be good, for goodness sakes, of course, because Santa has you on his good boys and girls list. So for Alexa, I'm sure that Santa will bring her wonderful, wonderful surprises for her on Christmas Eve. So I want you to be watching out for me on Christmas Eve as well. And please leave out cookies, leave out hot cocoa for Santa. I love cookies and cocoa. So please leave that. So that's what we do. So don't forget to send your letters and your emails and your texts Santa Claus and I will be wonderful. Wonderful if we can hear from you, just like we did Alexis. There's our chime. That means it's just about time for us to say goodbye, boys and girls, here at Santa Claus Says. We love you and we want to hear from you, and we want to be with you this Christmas time. We are here in this very place that we were able to watch me today every day during Christmas time of 2023. So that means every day from Thanksgiving Day through Christmas, you can hear three things: Christmas cheer, a wonderful adventure story, and you can hear a letter from Santa. And we want to hear from you. Don't forget that you can write me at SantaClausSays.net. You can give me a voicemail, you can give me a text, or you can send me an email at SantaClausSays.net/present, and I will send you a present back. Santa is here, and he loves you, and he listens to you. And we look forward to hearing from you again and seeing you again tomorrow, our next day, right here on SantaClausSays.net, where we bring you good cheer, an adventure story, and a letter to Santa. Until next time, boys and girls, this is Santa Claus, and I say to every one of you that Santa Claus says, be good for goodness sakes. Goodbye, goodbye. We'll see you next time. Ho, 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 ho.
You're special to Santa Claus, just like sprinkles. Get on Santa's nice list at SantaClausSays.net and watch Santa Claus Says on YouTube. Tell him Sprinkles sent you.